Wrentham drove in silence, ignoring this ugly question, then said, "Mr. Newspaperman, we're soon going to be at Cape Gallant, where you will see the great body of our island. And there on the blanket I always carry in my Chevrolet, we shall spread our picnic, your first in the Caribbean, so we must make it unforgettable." But before spreading the picnic, he wanted to share the basic rule of all saints, the one that all young people understood. I will also explain things if you decide to visit the other Caribbean islands. A young colored man of promise simply must, if he wants to get ahead, marry a girl with lighter skin. He will fight, lie, steal, and murder to achieve this. And a colored girl of great body who wants to make something of herself, she must marry a man with skin even lighter than hers. And it is watching what happens in this whirling impasse that produces the hilarity of Caribbean life and the tragedies and the suicides. After a short run to the southwest, away from the Atlantic, they came to a small elevated peninsula jutting due westward and commanding an incomparable view. To the north, the distant ocean; to the east, the slopes of Morne-Jour, reaching almost 4,000 feet into the cloudless sky; to the south, a perfect little bay with an arc of light sand, and best of all, to the west, the quite blue Caribbean spreading all the way to the Maya ruins of Cozumel. "Which view is your favorite?" Millard asked, and Wrentham replied, "It's all so grand I can never decide." And it was obvious that he was proud of this belvedere. While he spread his blanket and laid out the delicious he had purchased at Tudor, Millard looked about the area atop the cape and down into the cove that housed the beach. What he saw confirmed Bart's analysis of his island, for although he saw some 8 or 9 groups picnicking, each was off to itself and severely restricted in color. Whites ate with whites, light colors with their like, and rowdy blacks sang with their own kind. The beautiful Cape and its beach were in no way segregated. Anyone could eat anywhere, but he had better eat with his own color. Wrentham had placed the blanket so that his American guest could lean comfortably against a rather large rock, and as the two men drank beer, munched sandwiches, and nibbled at fine English biscuits and tartlets, Bart resumed his instruction. "On the hill behind the Gomint house, which I am sure you saw from your ship, there is a building of no great distinction surrounded by tennis courts, bowling greens and croquet lawns. That's the club. And it is severely restricted to an all-white membership. Most of the people in levels 1 through 3, including especially the French, incidentally, the French speak little French. Their names announce them, not their wear forms. What was I saying? Membership in the club. Well, now, suppose for a moment that you did immigrate here, satisfied the paperwork and all that. You behave yourself, pay your bills, act with respect toward your superiors. You could still fail to be accepted. Why? You're not English, and you are American, and that means you got to be an uncultivated boor. So I'll never see this glorious club. Of course you will. You can be invited there, but to be an actual member, never. Is it pretty posh? Heavens, no. Dues are minimal. Decor is deplorable, I'm told. I've never been allowed in, you understand, but I'm told its attraction is that it's like a cocoon or a womb. Your own kind of people, your own color. Who runs it? The woman fiercely. The wives of the senior officials added, of course, by Major Leakey. He's in charge of seeing that it remains pure. Who's he? The geeks at the camp. Been here for years. Had a fine reputation in India, good regiment and all that. Major Devon Leakey. And if he takes a dislike to you, or if his Madam Pamela does, you might as well pack up and leave, because he and the divine Pam rule the roost. How? They more or less determine what group you fit into. What affairs it would be proper to invite you to? Who would be urged to attend if your daughter gets married on the island? An ugly type. No. The Leakeys are the salt of the English earth. He didn't get 3 medals and a mention in the dispatches because he's adult. He entranced you at tennis, that I'll wager. He hesitated, took a large bite of sausage roll, then summarized his reaction to the ineffable Major. I find it difficult to like men who are a stone and half underweight, and who have all their hair the color it was 20 years ago. Then he added a note of serious caution. If you want to see All Saints at its best, you must build a bridge to Major Leakey. If you do, all doors will be opened. Invitations to Gomint House, dance at the club, the interviews you seek. If you don't, Siberia. And how do I build that bridge? I tell you, old chap, it won't be easy, and I'm not teasing. Our tourist ships drop off scores of Americans and Canadians like you, often people of considerable wealth and power back home. Here they're boors. Refuse to do things the British way, try to muscle their way in, and all they get is rebuffs. Major Leakey and his wife refuse even to see them. They never get to see Gigi, and they go home cursing All Saints as an unfriendly place where the blacks are abused. That's what'll happen to you, old chap, if you hang around with the likes of me and don't get friendly with the Leakeys. And how do I do that? You follow the traditions long ingrained of the British colony. You go to Government House before nightfall on the day of your arrival and sign the visitor's book to let the officials know you're in town and are paying your proper respects. Then you present your credentials to assure people that you're who you say you are and that someone in the echelon higher than yourself back home is vouching for you. Then you retire to your hotel room, behave yourself in public at meals, and wait. Would my being seen in your saloon be help or a hindrance? Wrentham laughed. You're a bright lad, Mackay. It would alert those who matter that you're no better than a 7 or 8 despite your white skin. But if I do the things you suggested, would I be accepted in, say, level 3? Lady, the government of this island is not stupid. They seek good reports in American newspaper to augment tourism, if nothing else. You behave yourself. Major Leakey will be falling all over you, but not if you try to bull yourself in. Try that, and you're cut off like a dead limb. But if I reported that snobbery in my articles, you'd never do that, lady, because you're part of the system. I can see from our brief conversation that you're prime club material. You already enjoy this island more than I do. A light-skinned couple who had been picnicking not far away recognized Wrentham and walked slowly over. Hello, Bart. Shall we be seeing you at the tennis tonight? Of course. Save me place at your table. This is my friend just in from America, Mr. Detroit newspaperman. The greetings were cordial, with the woman saying, if we can do anything to help while you're here, call upon us. Roger has the importing business not far from the Bart's Waterloo. When they were gone, Millard asked, what's this with the tennis? You have lighted courts for night play or what?